Hello. Now I want to talk about honesty and lying. Now, honesty is another collective value for many people. A lot of people believe in honesty. They want to tell the truth. You know, a lot of people don't go around deliberately lying to everyone. They like to think themselves as truthful. And these people, when they find out that they've been lied to, that can really upset them and really trigger them. Now, this might be you. I hope it is you because, that means that I'm talking to honest, good people. Good, what does that mean? When you value something highly, like honesty and truth, then when you are exposed to the opposite of that, so lying and deception, this can be massively unsettling and triggering and can make you angry, reactive, emotional. And this is where, so many arguments come off the back of people who found out they've been lied to. And there are little white lies or lies that people say when they don't realise they've lied. They believed something else and now it's come out that what they believed was wrong, and so actually they were lying and whatever. So there's deliberate lying and then there's sort of accidental lying, which might not be the same. But nevertheless, if you feel you've been lied to, it doesn't really matter whether they did it deliberately or whether they did it accidentally. You will still feel hurt by that and angry or whatever your reaction might be. So doing a clearance around honesty and truth versus lying and deception is really helpful to help you to kind of let go of the reactive emotional energy that might come up when you find out that you've been lied to. The other thing is when you think of yourself as an honest person, you will probably find it quite hard to lie. It goes against everything that you believe in. So lying is going to be hard for you. But there are going to be times when you do need to lie. And, it could be when your friend says, how do I look? And they're not going to be able to take that well. And you're just going to say, you look great, when actually they probably don't. Now, maybe you should say the truth in that situation, but maybe that's not going to be right for them. And they're feeling really crap and they need somebody to just move them along and make them feel good about themselves. And so you telling the truth in that moment is going to be really difficult for them to cope with. Equally, if you're walking down the street and you've just taken a load of money out the bank and you've got $1,000 in your back pocket and there's a crazy guy come up to you going, give me your money! And I haven't got any. Then if you can't lie, you might go, oh yeah, here it goes, take my money, rather than going, no, I haven't got anything, got nothing. In that under pressure moment, you default to your values, right? Because in an emotional situation, in a reactive situation, you haven't got the mental capacity to kind of really think. You just go to your default setting, okay? So when you've got a default setting that says honesty is the best policy, then you will kind of go there, which might mean you might be hurtful to the friend that needs cheering up, and you might hand over all your money to somebody who's trying to rob you in the street. So in those two situations, lying might actually be good, and for you to be able to choose to lie in that situation would also be good. But when we have a lot of love energy for honesty and truth, that's going to be really hard for us to do. So what we need to do is kind of clear this love energy that we have, the desire to be honest and truthful, or the energy that holds that up nice and high. And we also need to get rid of all that energy, that hatred energy, that despising energy of dishonesty and deception that causes us to react emotionally when someone has lied to us. And by getting rid of that energy at both ends, we're then able to kind of deal with the liars in a calm way. Doesn't mean you're just going to take it and go, yeah, lie, and you don't care. It just means that when you deal with it, you're able to deal with it in a non-emotional, reactive way. You can kind of go back to them and challenge them in a calm way and maybe get to the bottom of what's going on, rather than kind of instigating this huge argument that just becomes a slanging match and loads of emotions and crying and and just gets out of hand. You can just start dealing with things in a calm fashion. That's all that means. When we work on our values and kind of taking the power out of our values like that, it doesn't mean we're kind of getting rid of them and making them not important to us. It just means that when somebody treads on them or they are crushed, that we don't react with this emotional energy that takes our thinking, our clarity of thought away. Because when you do have that emotional beast that rises within, you're not thinking clearly in that moment. Your voice goes a bit funny, and you hit high pitches and all of that. And the people that you're talking to just stop listening to you, because you just become this big emotional reaction. Whereas when you're calm, delivering something, and you can pause and be thoughtful and all of that, that can be a lot more impactful in the way that you communicate with people. Now, also doing a clearance around this honesty and truth versus lying and deception is really good in terms of yourself and being able to speak the truth. Some people find it hard to be honest with themselves, honest about who they are with other people. They like to maybe lie about who they are because they think that who they are isn't good enough, that who they are is going to be judged, and who they are won't be received well, and so they lie to make themselves be accepted. They feel that that's what they believe, that it's going to help them get accepted. And of course, all of that is kind of wrong, really. And the best thing for you to be happy, which is the most important thing, right? So it's really windy here today. The Mistral is out in force. Is to be honest with yourself about who you are and how you feel, and also to be honest with those around you about who you are and how you feel. So hiding that, lying other people, deceiving other people is just not helpful, right? It's not healthy, and it's not good unless you're deceiving the robber, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And there are nuances here. The problem with our values is that sometimes we stick to them hell and high water, like, whatever happens, I will be honest. And sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot with your values, and sometimes it pays to just put them aside and not live according to your values. Sometimes that does make sense, and the ability to choose and to be mindful about applying and living your values is very helpful. And this mindfulness, when you clear the energy around both ends that exist here, it enables us to be mindful about our behaviour, and it takes away that reactiveness from our behaviour, which therefore allows us to be calm. The other reason why I think doing a clearance around this lying, truth, deception is because of what's going on in the world right now, and there's been a lot of deception, a lot of misinformation, a lot of deceiving, a lot of lying, not a lot of truth. Then truths are coming out, and when the truths come out, we feel deceived, we feel lied to, and that can cause a lot of anger in people. So in order to help you cope with these truths that are coming out, the feelings of being deceived that people may be feeling, and there's a lot of people feeling that way at the moment, then doing a clearance like this might just be what you need to help you cope with what is going on everywhere right now. So I hope that's been useful, and if you are going to dive in to do an honesty, truth, lying, deception clearance, then good luck.